Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the Firebase Flutter post notification series. So this is the second part of the video wherein we are going to see how we can retrieve the device token that we will use later on to send the notifications to the particular device. Okay, so before starting the second part of this video, let's recap that we have already installed these three libraries for the Firebase messaging. First one is Firebase messaging, Firebase core, and the Flutter notifications, right? Okay, so before moving to the actual implementations, let's remove the some of unnecessary code there. So in the lib I will create a new file. Let's say call it the home screen dot and let's copy this part to the newly created file and change the class name to home screen. Replace all the home screen state. Okay, and we do not need this increment counter because this is the built-in code when we create the new empty project, right? Okay, in this, yes, we need the widget, and in the widget we can directly type the home screen, and in the body center direct to that home screen, and we can remove this text. Also, we do not need a floating button as of now, so we can remove that one also. Okay, so what we are missing the Flutter material dart package to be import in this new screen. We can add this here. Okay, sorry. I think we are ready with our class. Create constant. We don't need this constant format. Okay, so we are ready with our home screen part, and now we can use this home screen as home screen. And does it take a title? Yes. Okay, so we can also use that one. Now we are good to go with that. So I will quickly tell you that what we have done here. We have removed default code that comes when we create our empty project. As we are going to retrieve the device notifications, we need to initialize the first Flutter widgets, and then we'll initialize the Firebase app. So to initialize the Flutter widgets, before starting the app, just write widget flutter binding flutter binding dot ensure initialize. So what this will do, this will initialize all the Flutter widgets before running our main app, right? So once this is initialized, now we can initialize our Flutter plugin here. Sorry, we can initialize our Firebase dot initialize the app, and it is sync. Okay, so see what we are doing here. Before running our app, we are first initializing the widgets, and then after we will initialize the Firebase app. And how it is working, this will use our Firebase core library to initialize the Firebase app. Now we are all good to get the device token, right? So what is the next what we can do here, I will create a new class called the notifications underscore service dot dart. Okay, and let's give a name to our class So this class will be our common class that will contain the code for the sending the notifications, retrieving the notifications, and retrieving the device token. So once this class is initialized, what we can initialize the Firebase messaging. Then messaging is equal to Firebase messaging dot instance. Okay, so whenever this new class will be initialized, it will initialize the Firebase messaging class. Now our next step is initializing the Firebase plugin. We will initialize Flutter local notification plugin equals to Flutter notification plugin with empty default constructor. Now we are all set by initializing our two classes. First is a messaging and another one is a local notification plugin. Now the next step is we have to retrieve the token, right? So we can write the future token type would be a string, right? Get device token, right? And the function would be async, and here we'll use the string token is equal to await. We'll use the messaging instance, so the messaging dot get token method will return token. So yes, okay, so when we have defined this method in our notification services, under the home screen we can initialize this notification services class. So I can write here in the home screen that notification services, that is notification services is equal to notification services. So what we'll do, whenever the home screen will be loaded, it will initialize this notification services class as well as the Firebase messaging, right? Now we can use this method get device token from the home screen using this instance of the class. So let's say that we want the device token when the home screen state is initialized, right, before it builds the widgets. So we can use one method called init state, and we can override this method with the help of so for init state, right? And here we can use our notification service class to get the device token. As we have used the future class or future interface here, we can retrieve the notification using the notification services dot get device token and dot then, and here we will have the value of the token. And let me then value, and here we can write this thing, right? And here we will print value. So the token will be printed in there when this class will be the initiator. So let's test this whether we are getting the device token or not. So for that I will run one simulator, Android simulator here. And once our simulator is ready, we can run these applications. Applications will be loaded in the simulator, and whenever this class will be the initiated, home class will have the device token printed in the debug console. Okay, so as you can see, we here we have device token that we have printed from here. So now what we can do, you can send this device token to your web server, so you can register it in your database. So in the future, this can be used to send notifications to this particular device, or else you can also store this token to local storage with help of the shared preferences. So whenever you require, you can use this token. So there are the other methods to refresh this token. There are some cases when these tokens gets expired. Let's say the application is not open for a while, or there can be multiple reasons, right? So in that case, rather than getting the new device token, there is one method called get refresh token. So whenever the token will be refreshed, or trigger the functions to refresh the new token. How we can refresh the or how we can get the new refreshed token, right? So the function is, let's create the one function called is token token refreshed, and again it will be a sync method. Then we'll use the messaging instance dot on token refresh, right? So messaging instance has one method called on token refresh. Whenever this method calls, we can listen the event, and in that event we'll have the in that event we'll have the token. So need to call this method in our from the main.dart file or from the home screen. So every time when our app launches, this method will be called, and it will check whether the token is refreshed or not. If the token is refreshed, it will assign us a new token. So uh, again you can use the same technique or the same implementations to update the token in your database or in your local storage like the shared preferences. So the implementation would be like, here we can say, we can do is we can write notification services is token refresh. So this will call the is refresh token, and if the new token is assigned, this method will this event will be triggered, and if there is a no new token will be assigned, then it will ignore this event. The Firebase will handle this automatically. So for now timing, we do not require to do anything here. So let's check. If I write here print token is refreshed, this will not call this method. See, because the token is not expired yet. So whenever token will get expired, this method will be, or this event will be called. Okay, so that's all for this video. In the next video we'll see how we can permissions from the Android and iOS applications to retrieve the notifications, and also we'll see the how we can send notification from the Firebase console to the particular device with the help of the device token